Tasya shiro grunanti drashtamyam sneha kala dvijani haso janonmata kari cha maya duranta sargo yadapanga moksha. Chandasyanantasya shiro grunanti drashtamyamasneha kala dvijani haso janonmadakari cha maya duranta sargo yadapanga moksha. Chandasyanantasya shiro grunanti drashtamyamasneha kala dvijani haso janonmadakari cha maya duranta sargo yadapanga moksha. Chandamsi, the Vedic hymns, Anantasya of the Supreme, Sira, the cerebral passage, Grananti, they say, Damsra, the jaws of teeth, Yama, Yamaraj, the director of sinners, Snehakala, the art of affection, Vijani, the set of teeth, Hasa, smile, Jana Unmadakari, the most alluring, Cha, also, Maya, illusory energy, Duranta, insurpassable, Sarga, the material creation, Yat Apanga, whose glance, Moksha, casting over. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. They say that the Vedic hymns are the cerebral passage of the Lord, and his jaws of teeth are Yama, god of death, who punishes the sinners. The art of affection is his set of teeth, and the most alluring illusory material energy is his smile. This great ocean of material creation is but the casting of his glance over us. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. According to Vedic assertion, this material creation is the result of the Lord's casting a glance over the material energy, which is described herein as the most alluring illusory energy. The conditioned souls who are allured by such materialism should know that the material temporary creation is simply an imitation of the reality, and that those who are captivated by such alluring glances of the Lord are put under the direction of the controller of sinners called Yamaraj. The Lord smiles affectionately, displaying his teeth. The intelligent person who can grasp this truth about the Lord becomes a soul fully surrendered unto him. This is a very short verse and short purport. So let's see what is about it. It is about all the surrender to Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, if you surrender to Krishna, from that moment you become free from all anxiety. And Sri Krishna's transcendental devotees are the ones who are truly happy because they uncover their bliss through devotional services. And the most amazing and blissful. So, and we are all part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead. In everybody's heart, the Lord Krishna resides. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, let's see, chapter 9, yeah, that's nice. Yes, in Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 9, Sri Lord Krishna says, text, chapter 9, text, the text was, just hold on 1 second. Man mana man bhakto. That one is the it's in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, and which verse is the man mana man bhakto. Yes, so the Lord Krishna says, engage yourself in me, engage all your activities. Do you know which verse is that? 34, right? Yes, 34. So, chapter 9 and verse 34. Yes, it says, Man mana mana bhakto madmaya mama namaskaru Mama evaisyasi yuktvam atmanam mataparayanam. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Offer obeisances and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Lord Krishna speaks this to Arjuna. In this verse, it is clearly indicated that Krishna consciousness is the only means of being delivered from the clutches of the contaminated material worlds. Sometimes unscrupulous commentators distort the meaning of what is clearly stated here, that all devotional service should be offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Unfortunately, unscrupulous commentators divert the mind of the reader to that which is not at all feasible. Such commentators do not know that there is no difference between Krishna's mind and Krishna. Krishna is not an ordinary human being. He is absolute truth. His body, mind, and he himself are one and absolute. It is also stated in the Kurma Puran, as it is quoted by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami in his Anubhasya comments on Chaitanya Charitamrita, 5th chapter, Adi Leela, verses 41 to 48. Dehadehi vibedo yamanesva visyate kvachit, which means that there is no difference in Krishna, the Supreme Lord, between himself and his body. But because they do not know this science of Krishna, the commentators hide Krishna and divide his personality from his mind and from his body. Although this is sheer ignorance of the science of Krishna, some men make profit out of misleading the people. There are some who are demoniac. They also think of Krishna, but enviously, just like King Kamsa, Krishna's uncle. He was also thinking of Krishna always, but he thought of Krishna as his enemy. He was always in anxiety, wondering when Krishna would come to kill me. That kind of thinking will not help us. One should be thinking of Krishna in devotional love, that is bhakti. One should cultivate the knowledge of Krishna continually. What is that favorable cultivation? It is to learn from a bona fide teacher. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we have several times explained that his body is not material, but is eternal, blissful knowledge. This kind of talk about Krishna will help one become devotee. Otherwise, understanding Krishna from the wrong source will prove fruitless. One should therefore engage his mind in the eternal form, the primal form of Krishna, with conviction in his heart that Krishna is the Supreme. He should engage himself in worship. There are hundreds of thousands of temples in India for the worship of Krishna, and devotional service is practiced there. When such practice is made, one has to offer obeisances to Krishna. One should lower his head before the deity and engage his mind, his body, his activities, everything. That will make one full absorbed in Krishna without deviation. This will help one transfer into Krishna lok. One should not be deviated by unscrupulous commentators. One must engage in the 9 different processes of devotional service, beginning with hearing and chanting about Krishna. Pure devotional service is the highest achievement of human society. So, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And even Krishna speaks to Arjuna, so how to engage yourself in the devotional services. And the Shravana Kirtana, so hear the Katha, listen to the Krishna Katha, and do all the devotional services and surrender completely to the Krishna. Krishna resides in everybody's heart. And there are also, look at Prahlad Maharaj, such a young boy, Dhruva Maharaj, young boy. They totally surrender to Krishna. And Prahlad Maharaj, he was such a young boy, and he had to deal with his demoniac father. And but he, like everywhere, is Krishna. So that's why in the end, when the father says, father put him through so many tortures, but he was always saved by Supreme Personality of Godhead. And at the end also, Prahlad Maharaj, when he is, when the father, the Hiranyakashipu, is about to kill him, and they say, so okay, show me, where is your Lord? He's in this pillar, and this little boy, Prahlad, he says, yes, he is. So then he says, you talk too much, okay, let me see. And as Hiranyakashipu is trying to break the pillar, and who comes out? The Supreme Personality of Godhead in such a wonderful form of Nrsimhadev, half lion, half man. So it is like how much you have faith and how much you surrender to Krishna. And Krishna, and then you, at the end of your life, you will definitely go to Krishna lok. There is no doubt about it. And that's also Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita to the Arjuna. Arjuna, Pandavas, look at that, there was a great Mahabharata that happened in Kurukshetra. Pandava took the shelter of Krishna. Kaurava could have done, but they didn't want to. They wanted to fight. So now, when Mahabharata happened, also in a gambling match between Pandavas and Kauravas, when Pandava lose everything, and then Draupadi was dragged, pulled by her hairs by Dushashan, and she was brought into the assembly, and there were so many great personalities were present. Could anybody save her? Protect her? No, nobody. But Draupadi, when she called for help to Krishna, who came to protect her? Lord Krishna. Because Draupadi had totally surrendered to Krishna, and Krishna saves her. So there are so many, incidents that when you engage yourself in serving Krishna, the Krishna always takes care of you. And in Kali Yuga, we are so blessed that by Sankirtan movement, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that movement Srila Prabhupada brought into Western countries, and throughout the world now this Kirtan, Sankirtan, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And chanting is very important. There's Navada Bhakti, Shravana Kirtan, Sevan. But whichever Bhakti you do, you remember Krishna. You serve Krishna. You can do Kirtan, you can do deity worship, and you can hear the Krishna Katha. So there are ways and ways to serve Krishna and surrender your life, surrender yourself. And just avoid offenses. We all make offenses, we all commit offenses. But just try to avoid, and also Krishna forgives. So it says that this great ocean of material creation is but the casting of his glance over us. The Lord smiles affectionately, displaying, and it says, his teeth, the intelligent person who can grasp this truth about the Lord becomes a soul fully surrendered unto him. And this verse is basically you surrender. Become a devotee, become Krishna devotee, and if you surrender, then Krishna will provide you a bona fide spiritual master. Take the shelter of bona fide spiritual master and serve the servant, become a servant of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when you surrender to Krishna, that from that moment you will see how you become the anxiety, how you become the free from all kinds of anxiety. Anxieties are there, right? In any yoga, but right now also we are going through so much anxieties, mental and physical. But we have to remember, we have to chant, we have to do the kirtan, we have to read, listen to Krishna Katha, and you will see the difference in your life. And devotees also, they feel blissful through devotional services. And we are also part and parcel of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The path of the bhakti is the most amazing and blissful. So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, He decides the devotee's desires and He protects. Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, He protects His devotees. There's no doubt about it. And the intelligent person who can grasp these truths about the Lord becomes a soul fully surrendered unto Him. Srila Prabhupada followed the spiritual master's order. And what was the order of spiritual masters? Just to go and preach abroad. Was it easy for him? No, it wasn't easy at all. Even to get the passport and ticket, it was not easy. He was discouraged. Srila Prabhupada was printing the books, and he was living in Vrindavan, nicely, situated. And when he went to Mrs. Sumati Morarji discouraged him. She didn't even want to consider whatever Prabhupada has to say. But Prabhupada personally met her and insisted that I must go and follow my spiritual master's order to preach in the Western world. And how did he come? Sumati Maharaji then granted Swamiji, and she gave the ticket on Scindia ship. And he traveled by ship, not even by the plane. 70 years of age. Srila Prabhupada had some, had the text also on the ship, but he was very determined and he was totally surrendered to the Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna fulfilled his desire to spread Krishna consciousness throughout the world. In 12 years, Srila Prabhupada established 108 temples. And today, all over, there is a kirtan, there is a Rath Yatra, there is Shravana Kirtan, everything, deity worship is happening all over the world. That was Krishna's desire, and it was fulfilled by his devotee on mercy of spiritual master. So it is very important that we chant regularly, at least 16 rounds, and perform the devotional services, Kirtanya Sadahari, and this way, end of your life, you go back to Godhead. So basically, this was very short passage, verses. So anybody wants to see anything? Anything about, So are you chanting 16 rounds or more? More, very good. And very nice, very nice. So you're also reading about Krishna Katha? Right. Wow. Śhrīmad-Bhāgavatam Sevaya, yes. Every day we should spend some time reading the scriptures like Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada Leelamrita, and our mind, constantly we should engage our mind in services. Listen Hari Katha also, hearing, reading, and this wonderful, and we are so fortunate that we live in temple, so we can do so many services. That is the benefit of devotees living in the temple. We should not waste any moment. Engage ourselves in the service to Lord. No matter what kind of service you do. Even you sweep the temple room or you sweeping, then you get the same benefit as the pujari offers the arti and the saint. This incident about Shamanand in Sevakund, Shamanand Pandit. He was just doing cleaning, right? Cleaning. And one time he found the ankle bell of Srimati Radharani. And when Srimati Radharani, when she went home and she found that she's missing one ankle bell. So Radharani said, Vishakha, that you go and bring my ankle bell. And she went and Shaman says, well, if this doesn't belong to you, but it belongs to whoever has to come here. Radharani has to come here and get the ankle bell. So she went back and she told Radharani personally came to get ankle bell. So Shaman had Radharani's darshan, right? Radharani appeared. Look, what service he was doing? He was keeping the clean, sweeping the place and keep it clean. He was such a humble devotee. So there are so many pastimes of, great acharyas also. And they have a realization, they have realized. So you have to surrender completely and engage yourself. Engage in, without talking all kinds of, mundane about what is happening, what is not, criticizing, just you become free from all this contaminated energy. You focus on Krishna's service and Krishna, and you surrender completely. Krishna resides in everyone's heart. And then at the end of your life, you go back to Godhead. You have anybody has some questions? Some kind of questions, some kind of comment. And it's prasadam, transcendental. Prasadam. Prasadam is very important. Not anything. Offer. Whatever even you cook, offer to Krishna, and then you honor. Then your whole body becomes Krishna conscious. So prasadam is a magic. Prasadam, even someone, the visitors or first somebody is they come here, honor the prasadam, and they also feel it different. I have so many experiences like this. People come here, they never ate prasadam. First of all, what is prasadam? Some people, they don't even know. So we explain, it's okay, now this is little pera, this is little barfi. They eat it and then they come back again. They come back again for prasad. Oh, we would like to have prasad. So slowly start with the prasadam. And then you preach and, it's very good services. Mother Divyangi is doing the book distribution. It's amazing, how many people get benefits. And once they read, they change their mind, believe me. And that's how they are attracted to Krishna. So, prasadam is also very, attractive for the honor the prasadam, not just food. Whatever you cook, offer, it becomes prasad, and then you eat. So, in surrendering to Supreme Personality of Godhead, 24 hours you think about Krishna. Do your duties, think about Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada always says that we are one family. And we have to serve Krishna together. Shri Radha Govinda looks so beautiful. And you are serving, you are fortunate that you are able to serve Radha Govinda in any form of your service. That's all we can say to it. And we had such a wonderful festivals, Balaram Appearance Day and Julan Yatra, and now is coming Krishna Janmashtami. We want to celebrate. We want to have a grand celebration for our Govinda. So please, everybody, participate in any way, and let's have a great celebration of Krishna Janmashtami. That is on August 11, Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. And after Janmashtami, August 12 is Srila Prabhupada's appearance day. So let's celebrate these two very auspicious days together with love and devotion. That's it. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. No question? I think. Radharani is a potential energy of Lord Krishna. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Radharani, you, yes. And our Radha Govinda, so beautiful. Hare Krishna. Shri Radha Govinda Deva ki Jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवत महापुराण की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। हरे कृष्ण।